Well, we're just going to read out the two sides again for Bradford Bulls TV, powered by Bull Builder. Sheffield Eagles this afternoon will line up as follows: Ryan Miller at fullback, wing free quarter line, Ilias McCartney, Daniel Imbigdian, Joshua Toole and Ben Blackmore. The half-backs, Oscar Thomas and Matty Fozzard. The front row forwards, Matt James, Greg Burns and John Magrin. The back row, Oliver Davis, Sean Pick, combining the pack at loose forward, Kieran Moran. On the interchange bench, Tom Megaton, Maxime Garcia and Blake Broadbent. For John Keir, his second game in charge of the Bradford Bulls, as they about to emerge from the tunnel below. Our commentary position here at Odsall, side by side. Brandon Pickersgill at fullback. Wing free quarter line, Dalton Grant, Ashley Gibson, Ross Oakes and Josh Rickett. The halves, Lee Smith, Elliot Minchella. The front row forwards, Steve Crossley, Reece Butterworth and Liam Kirk. The back row forwards, Liam Johnson, Matty Garside and Sam Hallis. And on the interchange bench, Ethan Ryan, Alex Brown, Rowan Milnes, Jamel Goodall, Vila Halafihi, Ross Peltier, Daniel King, Evan Hudson, Mikey Wood and James Davis. There will be, in fact, a minute's silence. Former player Ralph Rinnard, who sadly passed away last week. Ralph played nearly 200 games for the Bradford Northern between 1954 and 1963. So we will have a minute's silence to remember Ralph Rinnard.
Our thoughts and condolences go out to the family and friends of Kato Ottio and Ralph Rinnard during this difficult time. We now ask you to join with us in a minute's silence, which will be controlled by today's match referee.
Well, an impeccable minute's silence here at the Provident Stadium for Ralph Rinnard, who sadly passed away, 83 years of age. So we've gone through the two sides. It will be Bradford to get proceedings underway on the peep of the referee this afternoon, and that is Craig Smith, 22 years of age from St Helens, a schoolboy final referee at Wembley in 2014. So it will be Lee Smith to get proceedings underway. Bulls Live, Bulls TV. Sheffield will have first use of the ball as Lee Smith goes high and long, and it's going to come down on the Sheffield 10, and immediately Sheffield are going to move the ball up to their own 20, and that's good, solid, strong defence early doors by Elliot Minchella and Matt Garside on that left-hand edge. So the Sheffield Eagles tackle number 2 just outside their own 20, just to the right hand side of centre field, as they're going to come down the field, down the middle, as Magrin gets to his feet, plays the ball, moves it down towards this left hand edge, and in defence, looking very keen early doors, is Mikey Wood, and Mikey Wood certainly wrapping the second row forward Sean pick up there with Matt Garside in pursuit. So Sheffield Eagles on the fifth and last tackle, the 5 metres inside the Bradford half. It goes back to Oscar Thomas, wearing 19. He tries a little fancy flare free chip over the top, regathers, but he's tackled 30 out from the Bradford line in a good tackle there by Ross Oakes, and the two former teammates get up. Oscar Thomas will give the ball to Elliot Minchella, and Bradford will have first use of the ball. Minchella will play the ball 30 out from his own try line. Butterworth in at dummy half. It's a short direct pass there to Hallis. Gets up to his feet. It's going to be Kirk now, who carries Bradford just up to halfway, just inside the Sheffield Eagles half. Butterworth once again down the middle channel as Hallis comes in for his second carry in this match. That's 3 tackles gone. Bradford 40 metres out from the Sheffield Eagles try line. It goes to Crossley. Crossley along the line to Smith. Smith to Wood, and Wood's going to be brought down just 30 out now from that Sheffield Eagles try line on tackle number 4. Butterworth goes scampering out of dummy half. Short pass on the inside to Crossley. 22 metres out. Last tackle just to the right hand side of the sticks. It goes to Smith. Smith peppers one behind the line, looking to cause trouble for Imbigdian. Imbigdian has kicked it out of play, and it is going to be a scrum, head and feed to Sheffield, says the touch judge. That looked like it come off his right knee, but the referee's giving Sheffield the benefit of the doubt there. So scrum to Sheffield Eagles, 10 metres out from their own try line. We've had exactly 2.5 minutes gone here on the Holland Bay scoreboard. John Keys.
Pretty even start, I think. A disappointing end for Sheffield. They made some good ground, and rather than kick, Oscar tried something a bit special and it didn't come off. I think there the Bradford guy pushed the Sheffield defender in the back, and that's why it came off his knee, and that's why he's given the scrum to Bradford.
So from the scrum, Sheffield via Mari Fozzard are going to carry the ball just outside their own 10, and that's a short pass. Very risky there as it goes to McCarney, another former Bradford player in this Sheffield side. There's 3 in the starting lineup, McCarney, Magrin and Thomas, and he's going to take the tackle just outside his own 20. So 3 minutes gone here, no score on the Holland Bay scoreboard. Out of dummy half, it is going to go from Greg Burns, and Greg Burns is immediately brought down there by Butterworth, Crossley, and a very enthusiastic looking Matty Garside. 10 metres shy of the halfway line. Sheffield is keeping it simple and direct thus far, and they're up to halfway. In fact, they're inside the Bradford half by 5 metres on the last tackle. Referee Craig Smith says that's the 5th and last. Burns out of dummy half, gives it to Oscar Thomas. Thomas on the halfway line, strikes the pose, goes long and high, and it's a tester over on that far stand side for Rickett, but Rickett takes it from the clouds, and he's brought down just inside his own 20 on tackle number 1. Pickersgill goes in at dummy half, gives it there to Ross Oakes, and Ross Oakes is going to find himself brought down just outside the Bradford 20. Ross Oakes, 10 tries last season, the former Dridlington amateur rugby league player, gets to his feet, plays the ball. It's going to go from Butterworth to Grant. Dalton Grant, his first use of the ball in this match. Butterworth now out of dummy half. Tackle number 4 for Sheffield as Bradford will play the ball 15 shy of the halfway line. Hallison at dummy half, down the middle it goes with Crossley. Crossley making huge metres, and he's brought down 5th and last, 5 shy of halfway. Butterworth in at dummy half, flat pass over on the main stand side towards Smith. Smith goes high, long, down the front, and that is going to be Ryan Miller, the fullback for Sheffield, who takes it on his 10 and meets the red, amber and black shirted Bradford Bulls defensive line on his own 20. Fast pace, early doors to this one, a dry track, great conditions if a little cold, but Sheffield really giving it to Bradford early doors. They're over on the far stand side as Joshua Toole, 12 tries last season for Sheffield, gives the ball in field, and that is going to be Elias McCarney, who's going to be wrapped up on the 4th tackle for the Eagles. Thomas in at dummy half, goes down the middle to Magrin, wearing 8, and Magrin's brought down on the halfway line. He gets to his feet, does Magrin. Out of dummy half once again. This is Ben Blackmore, and Blackmore's brought down 15 metres inside the Bradford half on the 5th and last tackle. Sheffield 35 out from that Bradford try line. In defence you've got Hallis and Kirk. It goes out of dummy half from Burns to Thomas. Thomas with an audacious pass to McCarney on this main stand side. McCarney chips over Gibson. He regathers, but it has gone forward. It was on the last tackle, John Keys. Bradford will play the ball 30 metres out from their own try line, and on the Holland Bay scoreboard with 6 minutes gone, it's Bradford 0, Sheffield 0.
Pretty even Stephen at the moment, making it exchanging sets. As always, maybe a bit of an over-ambitious Oscar Thomas there, trying to make a 30-yard pass. But there's not a lot in it, is there, at the minute? Great couple of great runs from Steve Crossley going forward, and some good defence from the boys again, all getting stuck in.
So 6 minutes gone in this one. It's going to be Butterworth out of dummy half to Crossley. Crossley, as we already mentioned previously, is at Bradford for the third time via Dewsbury, Featherstone and Castleford, and he somehow managed to offload the ball in the tackle, and Bradford keep it going with Minchella. Minchella's managed to find Ross Oakes. Oakes keeps it alive to Minchella, and Minchella's offloading the tackle to Rickett. 40 out from the Sheffield line as see Josh Rickett put the ball down. The 20-year-old who made his debut for the Bulls under Owen Smith at Workington away has come up with a little unfortunate error there because Sheffield was stretched. It certainly was exciting play from the Bradford Bulls early doors here. 7 minutes gone. Still no score to the Holland Bay scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Crossley managed to get that ball out. Then we had another great offload, I think, from Liam Kirk. And unfortunate there for Josh out on the wing. But you know what? Some positive stuff already.
Just 2 errors from the Bulls thus far. The Eagles we won, and Bradford now will set their defensive stall up 5 metres inside their own half as Sheffield move the ball down this left-hand edge, and that is going to be Sean Pick, who's brought down by Mikey Wood and Steve Crossley. 45 out from the Bradford line as Magrin gives the ball to Fozzard, and Fozzard will chime into the defensive line and he will take the tackle. 25 out from the Bradford line. Sheffield in the black, red and white away strip this afternoon. They're playing towards the Ruler Lane terracing in the first half as Magrin carries them up on tackle number 4. They're 20 metres out from that Bradford Bulls try line. What is Greg Burns going to do in at dummy half? He's going to in turn give it to Thomas. Thomas puts the grubber kick through. Ryan Miller has to turn around, regather the ball, and it is the last tackle. The referee, Craig Smith, says it wasn't played at, so Sheffield have lost a lot of metres, and in the end Greg Burns is just going to play one down towards this main stand touchline, and Brandon Pickersgill was happy to let that one go dead, and it will be a scrum head and feet to the Bradford Bulls 10 metres out from their own try line. 8 minutes gone. John, it's got to be said, it's pre-season, but it's certainly fast and frenetic.
Yeah, I think it's a good tempo to the game at the moment. Picking up from our pre-match conversations, Bradford seemed very eager to defend properly. And again, we got to that kick there from Oscar defend. Sheffield lose 30 metres, and right, it's ended up now with a scrum on our 10, but everyone's looking pretty sharp this afternoon.
Lee Smith then from the base of the scrum gives it to Dalton Grant, the Welsh international, 27 years of age. South Wales, Barrow, Dewsbury and London, his previous clubs. 36 tries in 50 appearances for Dewsbury when he was a Dewsbury Rams player and caused new head coach John Keir a lot of pain because he was the head coach of Batley. But Bradford, they're over on the far stand side towards the Provident stand with Reece Butterworth, who gives it to Hallis, and Hallis is brought down in a 2-man Sheffield tackle led there by Oliver Davis and Sean Pick. It goes out to Garside. Garside's going to find Pickersgill. Pickersgill gives it to Minchella, and here goes Minchella surging forward up to halfway, 10 metres inside the Sheffield half. That'll draw a round of applause from the supporters below the gantry. Butterworth, short pass down the middle to Crossley. Crossley's made 10, make that 15 metres forward, just inside the Sheffield 30. It's the last tackle. Butterworth takes the line on. It's a kick. Miller's going to take it with pressure as he's clattered there by Mikey Wood and Reece Butterworth, and take a bow Ryan Miller. That was going sky high, and he was under a lot of pressure there from Butterworth and Mikey Wood, but in the end Ryan Miller certainly will get the plaudits from head coach Mark Aston as Sheffield now race out of the 20 over on that far stand side as Miller has a second carry in this set, and Bradford scrambling back a little as Oscar Thomas picks it up at dummy half, and he's brought down 15 metres shy of the halfway line on the last tackle. So a good defensive set for the Bulls as Matty Fozzard just kicks it straight downtown to the Bradford 20 and straight into the arms there of Dalton Grant. Dalton Grant's just edging into the left, and he'll take the tackle 15 shy of the halfway line on tackle number 1. And here goes Josh Rickett out of dummy half, and he'll scamper forward and make some cheap metres, and he's brought down 9 shy of halfway centre field. Still no score in this one. 12 minutes gone here at the Provident Stadium, Odsall, as Ash Gibson is brought down on tackle number 3. They're now inside the Sheffield Eagles half via Liam Kirk, who scored a try against Halifax on the Boxing Day game against Halifax, and referee Craig Smith is going to say that Liam Kirk, who didn't miss a game in 2017, has come up with a little error there. So that's the 3rd error from the Bradford Bulls. John, I think it was the impact of the tackle. As we said, there's numerous players playing against each other, so there's going to be a bit of spice and a little bit of an aggressive streak to this one, despite it being a pre-season friendly.
There is, but both teams seem to be making good ground, don't they, on their sets. They're both defending pretty well as well, though. But interestingly enough, I just think Bradford look like might have that extra spark to put the foot down a bit more.
Well, the referee has just stopped the clock while the physio and water carrier comes on. Dalton Grant takes a quick swig of the water, and Oscar Thomas will look to feed the ball in the scrum, which is 10 shy of the halfway line on the Sheffield Eagles 40. Thomas puts it in. It's taken out there by Burns. Burns gives it to Miller, and Miller tries to find a ray past Hallis and Minchella, and he's finally wrestled there by Hallis and Minchella on the halfway line. Yet to have a penalty in this game. Currently penaltyless as Crossley races out of the defensive line, and he will wrap up Matt James, who's brought down on tackle number 2, 40 out from that Bradford Bulls try line. It goes from Burns to Thomas. Oscar Thomas is wrapped up, and Mikey Wood and Reece Butterworth will enjoy wrapping up for the Bradford favourite Oscar Thomas. And still Sheffield though can't unlock this Bulls defence. They go down the middle once more with Magrin. Quick play the ball from Burns. Burns going to give it to Moran. Kieran Moran wrapped up 20 metres out from the Bradford try line. It's the last tackle, and it's a penalty on the last tackle, and it will be more pressure now for Bradford to absorb. That was silly, John. The referee Craig Smith says laying on in the tackle.
Pretty soft penalty. Whether it was a penalty or not, I'm not sure, but he gave it. Just a quick, I think we're about 10 or 12 minutes in. I'd really like to know how many players have actually played the ball with their foot, because at the moment nobody seems to be doing it. It seems to be this thing where you put the ball on the floor and step over it, and that's good enough.
Sheffield Eagles then, 10 metres out from that Bradford line. It's going to be Kieran Moran who's driving forward. Butterworth has to bring him down with Wood in a 2-man tackle. The 2 metres out from the Bradford try line as it goes out to Thomas. Thomas along the line to Imbignian, and Imbignian standing. He's wrestling. It's the WWE. He goes to the ground there by Wood and Grant and Gibson, and he'll get to his feet. Will Imbignian burns in at dummy half to Thomas. Thomas lays it to Magrin, and Magrin goes charging towards the Bradford line, and it's a crunching tackle there from Reece Butterworth and Sam Hallis, 2 of the smallest players on the field, standing tall, and John Magrin comes up with Sheffield Eagles' second error of the match. It's 2-3 on the errors, and we've had 14 minutes on the Holland Bay clock scoreboard. It's still 0-0. Sheffield had a chance there, John, to penetrate the Bulls' defence, and we saw it against Halifax. 22 unanswered points. The defence, certainly something to be proud of. It's impressive in 2018.
Absolutely, and I can assure you that John won't have liked dropping that ball, will he, against his former club. But as I said earlier on, the defence seems so much better and all keen to get stuck in, which is a huge difference from last season. It'd be interesting to see how Sheffield go now, because interchange-wise, I know we're only 15 minutes in, but interchanges, I think they're going to struggle today.
Steve Crossley on tackle number 2 on this ensuing set of 6 for the red, amber and black of the Bradford Bulls. Butterworth in at dummy half, gives it there to Kirk. Kirk goes driving forward, and he's brought down 5 shy of the halfway line, and Liam Kirk's come up with another error, and this time it's Burns and Magrin who've come up and put a bit of pressure on Liam Kirk, and the 20-year-old has lost the ball 5 shy of halfway, just inside the Bradford half. So Sheffield, a full set of 6 once again on this Bradford line. Well, it's sort of started going, John, but we've just had a bit of disjoltedness with a couple of errors either side. It's got to be said, the temperature not ideal. Perhaps that's the reason for the drop ball.
Yeah, possibly, and also maybe just trying to play a bit too quickly. You know, we've got a long way to go in this game. Yeah, I'd build up the sets and get position on the field and then see what happens from there. But like you said, the temperature's probably not helping, but I just think we maybe need to slow down a little bit.
Daniel Imbignian brought down by Hallis and Butterworth in a 2-man tackle on tackle number 1, 30 metres out from the Bradford Bulls try line. Here goes Matt James after taking a short pass from Greg Burns, and he will take the ball 18 shy of that Bradford line. Out of dummy half it goes from Burns. Burns to Fozzard. Fozzard wrapped up though by Crossley and Kirk and Hallis, a 3-man tackle. They retreat back to the Bradford goal line. Bradford scrambling. Sheffield look to stretch the Bulls out wide. Oscar Thomas, bullet pass over on the far stand side towards Joshua Toole. He steps in 1 and is brought down on tackle number 4. A tackle remaining in this set of 6. Burns out of dummy half. Along the line it goes from Thomas. Thomas is going to find Moran, and Moran is going to be wrapped up on the 5th and last tackle by Butterworth and Crossley. Crossley standing tall. Burns out of dummy half. They're going for the power play. away. It's a short pass to Magrin. Magrin's held up over the line. Good scrambling defence for the Bradford Bulls. They'll go back to the 10. Bradford will regain possession. We've had 17 minutes on the clock. Holland Bay scoreboard. Bulls 0, Eagles 0.
Interesting, great defence again. A good run from Magrin, but as we said, the boys just seem to be getting so. The defence is so much more of looks so much more evident this season, I suppose is the best word for it at the moment. But I'd like to see us now start playing a bit more, but let's complete our sets and then see what happens from there. We just seem a bit too keen to throw the ball around a bit.
17 minutes gone. John Keir makes his first interchange of the afternoon. Liam Kirk leaves the field. On comes Ross Peltier, and here goes Peltier. He's lost the ball. 15 shy of the halfway line, but the referee Craig Smith says Greg Burns and John Magrin 2-on-1 isn't fair. It's illegal. Penalty count, 1 apiece now. Lee Smith, the skipper for the Bulls in 2018, just finds touch on this popular stance side. We thought for a minute McCartney might jump up and try and keep it in field, but it just went over McCartney's head. It's going to be tapped by Gibson. Tackle 1. Mikey Wood is wrapped up. 20 out from the Sheffield line. Butterworth probing in at dummy half. Is going to pass on the inside. It goes down the middle with Crossley, and the former Toronto Wolfpack man is wrapped up 15 shy from the South Bank stand side. It goes from Butterworth. It goes to Peltier. Peltier to Minchella. Minchella to Garside, and Garside's wrapped up literally 2 metres shy of the Sheffield Eagles line. He's still going. Is Matt Garside. He's over the line, and referee Craig Smith's going to say the momentum wasn't stopped. He allowed it to continue, and Matt Garside is going to go back and he's going to play the ball on the 10, the former Sheffield Eagles man there. It goes from Butterworth to Peltier. Peltier, rampaging run. Rossi P, the king of Bradford, has had the ball stolen again. It's another penalty to the Bulls. Back-to-back penalties here, and with 18 minutes gone, Bradford, they're not going to take the 2, they're going to tap it. Butterworth, ball in hand, gives it to Ross Peltier again. Peltier swatting them away. The Eagles players like Skiddles in a bowling alley, plays the ball a metre shy. Butterworth out to Minchella. Minchella, cut out pass to Rickett. Josh Rickett in the corner is a metre shy. Good scrambling defence there from Ryan Miller. Quick play the ball. It goes back to Minichella. 15 out. He lays it on a plate to Crossley. Crossley gets the legs motoring, and he's brought down 8 metres shy. 2 tackles remaining in this set of 6. Currently scoreless. Bulls Live, Bulls TV. Hallis to Smith. Smith throws the dummy. It goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill fancies his chances. Brandon Pickersgill gets the ball down. Does he? No, he doesn't. Referee looks to the touch judge, and the touch judge has his flag up. Brandon Pickersgill literally went millimetres from crossing the Sheffield chalk. The score remains Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 0, with play 20 minutes. What an exciting passage of play, John.
Amazing. And I mean, for me, the pass of that play where there was Minchella's pass out to the wing, for a back rower, he can really play football. Unlucky there for Brandon. Maybe should have squared up and tipped the ball on, but you know what, it's pre-season, so let's try these things.
Brandon Pickersgill going incredibly unlucky there to breaking the deadlock here at the Provident Stadium, Odsall, this afternoon. And as we said, both sides really going hammer and tong. Dry track, and Ethan Ryan just warming up below our commentary position here. At half-time, we'll go through more of your tweets and your Bradford Bulls Live messages on the MixLR app. So Sheffield moving the ball down the middle channel, brought down there by Crossley and Butterworth, who are doing an absolute time and effort in defence here, as once again Bradford's defensive structure really eye-catching here, because Sheffield trying to go down the middle, but they're not really getting anywhere, as Matty Fozzard gets up, plays the ball as it goes towards Sean Pick on this main stand side. Pick is going to be wrapped up there by Hallis and Butterworth. Bradford hunting in 2s and 3s. Gibson comes in as the third man. Referee Craig Smith urging the Bulls to just get back as it goes out of dummy half from Burns to Magrin. And I've got to say, the referee penalises Bradford for being inside the 10. Penalty count, 2 penalties apiece. Craig Smith was actually doing the draw back action to tear to Bradford to get back the 10, so that penalty, unfortunately, it won't please John Keir, but it was coming, and what a booming kick from Oscar Thomas. He's found touch, 10 out from the Bradford line. So Sheffield now, in the 21st minute, a chance to open the scoring for the visitors. Oscar's going to tap it, 10 out from the line, and gives it to Magrin. Magrin, in a three-man tackle, brought down 2 metres out from that Bradford try line, and it goes from Burns. Burns is going to give it there to Matt James, and Matt James is over the line, but once again, good scrambling defence from the Bradford Bulls. In Elliot Minchella wrapping up Matt James and basically tackling him on his back. The ball carrying arm could not ground the ball in the Bradford in goal area. Still 0-0. 21 and a half gone. Burns back to Magrin. I think I'm going to say that numerous times this afternoon. It is brought down once again by Ross Peltier and Hallis, 2 metres shy of the line. It now goes to Matty James. What can Matt James do with ball? He's once again wrapped up there. This time it's by Garside. 2 tackles remaining. Burns to Thomas. Thomas along the line to Moran. Moran's just going to drop the shoulder, sucking the Bulls' defence. Hallis offloads the ball back to Thomas. Thomas, a no-look pass, keeps it going. It's come out. It's come off the boot. McCartney's calling for it, and it's into the hands of Oliver Davis, and Oliver Davis, the second row forward for the Eagles, is going to say that is back to 1, and the referee agrees. So more pressure here for Sheffield to put on this Bradford Bulls defensive line. Sean Peake gets to his feet, plays the ball, Burns in at dummy half, into centre field to Thomas. Thomas looping pass, it goes there to Matty. Hazard fancies to take the Bradford Bulls line on, but he can't get past Crossley, although he somehow manages to keep the ball alive. Danger here for the Bulls. Joshua Toole, can he ground the ball? Has the ball touched the Bulls' chalk? No, it hasn't, says referee Craig Smith. He'll get up and play the ball. Burns, he's made a hash of it. There was a gap between Butterworth and Hallis, and Burns, awful no-look pass in centre field to Kieran Moran, has seen the loose forward spill the ball with a line begging, and that is Sheffield Eagles' 4th error. So the penalty count 2 apiece, the errors 4 apiece. Scrum to Bradford Bulls, 24 minutes gone, 16 out from half-time, and I've got to say, John, Bradford's goal line defence is impressive.
I mean, that was 9 tackles back-to-back there. And just unbelievable. I mean, Minchella started it all when he held up James, but then the goal line defence there was unreal. How Sheffield never got over. And is that something that we can, build the rest of the season on? I hope so, because as I said before, it's something we really struggled with, mental state. But I think John's got the boys, positive psychology stuff from John seems to be paying off.
So from the scrum, Mikey Wood wearing 18 and the black scrum cap on a season-long loan from the Huddersfield Giants, played with Sheffield last season, is going to be brought down just outside the 20 as it goes back down this middle channel. And just looking at Dalton Grant there, Dalton Grant's going to be wrapped up, and the referee just giving another penalty here to the Bradford Bulls. He's going to say laying on in the tackle, and Rhys Butterworth wins that penalty. So penalty count is 3-2, and they're going to find touch 10 shy of the halfway line. Grant gives it to Gibson. Gibson, of course, the former Leeds, Salford, Castleford and Wakefield man, wrapped up just shy of halfway. Butterworth in at dummy half to Smith. Short pass there to Johnson. Johnson looks to pass the ball on the inside, and it's been picked up by McCartney. So it's the 0 tackle. It's the free play. McCartney's going backwards though. Steve Crossley's got hold of him. It's like the good old days of Northern, and he's lost a lot of ground there, McCartney, but it's the second tackle, and now the referee is going to say Steve Crossley and Sam Hallis were all over the top, and someone's given dissent, and referee Craig Smith will march the Bulls back, and the Bulls have just given Sheffield 20, make that 50 metres, 50 easy metres on the kick.
Mikey would try to unload the ball there, and there was nothing on, and look what it's led to now. Great tackle by Steve, and then we've just given away a silly penalty and lost 50 metres, like you said. Be interested to see if we can hold out from this set now. We're doing a lot of defending at the moment.
Sheffield then, 4 tackles in the bag as it goes from Burns to Magrin. Once again, Magrin attracting a lot of attention from his former players, and Magrin's come up with an error. Hallis and Butterworth, another crunching tackle. It dislodged the ball from John Magrin's right ball carrying arm. The error count now mounting up for the Sheffield Eagles. That's the 7th error they've come up with this afternoon. That won't be pleasing Mark Aston, and we're around about 14 and a half minutes to go to half time. The Holland Bay scoreboard still says Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 0.
It's cold and there's not a lot of flair going on, is there? But it's quite a good battle, to be honest. It's real head-to-head stuff here. But again, it doesn't seem to... The errors as well, whilst there's some good hits going in, there seem to be some silly errors given away, penalties and knock-ons. I think both teams need to tighten up on that for the second half.
So from the scrum, Bradford are over on the far stand side towards the Provident stand as a tackle comes in from Pick and Moran, bringing down Josh Rickett. Butterworth out of dummy half. He's done 27 minutes thus far, playing 9 for the Bulls. Short pass to Crossley. Crossley wrapped up just outside the 40. Garside against his former team. Draws in that Sheffield defence on the far stand side. Offloads it back to Butterworth. Butterworth to Peltier. Peltier's lost the ball backwards. Picks it up. Regathers. Here goes Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier fixes Linford Christie. He's going towards the line and he's brought down 15 metres out from that Sheffield line. The play on is the call from the referee. And Bradford have come up with an error. Well, I was watching the scuffle. Players were scuffling in back play. Referee Craig Smith said play on. But I tell you something, I'd like to see that on the highlights, John, because Ross Peltier literally went barnstorming down the Provident side wing. Look at Ross Peltier go. We're just watching it on the replay monitor. Oh, my word. It was like the volcano back at Odsall, John.
Well, the volcano, and for those older people in the crowd, the refrigerator from the NFL, I think, was a bit more like it, to be honest. Great. He didn't quite have the change of pace there, Ross, but what a fantastic run. Unfortunately, it's ended up in a scrum to Sheffield, but again, how often have we seen Ross run 40 metres?
I think Bradford just got a little bit too excited there for their own good. Peltier brought down 15 out from the Sheffield line. They tried to move the ball infield and it was unfortunately knocked on. But Sheffield, from that scrum then, inside their own 20, tried to move the ball forward via Mbigdian. It goes from Burns now out of dummy half. He keeps it going as he finds Magrin, and Magrin's wrapped up by Smith and Mikey Wood in a 2-man tackle. 2 tackles remaining in this set of 6 then for the Sheffield Eagles as Oscar Thomas gallops up and over halfway. He's brought down by Johnson and Wood in a 2-man tackle. It's picked up there by Ben Blackmore, and Blackmore, the former Halifax man, loses the ball in the tackle. The crowd appeal for a knock-on, non-forthcoming. Referee Craig Smith says, though, that'll be the last. Burns out of dummy half, straight into Butterworth. It ricochets back there to Mbigdian. Mbigdian is on the power play, and the ball carrying arm has hit the Provident Stadium turf there after Butterworth and Gibson come in a 2-man tackle. 12 minutes out from half-time. Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 0 on the Holland Bay scoreboard.
Yeah, a strange game, isn't it? There's no score yet, and for pre-season I thought people might try a few more things, but you know, they're probably undertaking their coach's instructions. Sheffield, I think, are going pretty good, to be honest. I know Iggy, number 3 there, Danny Igbinion, he's had a few good runs. He's a former cage fighter, I don't know if you know that, but he's as tough as anything, so it's interesting how much ground he's making and they can't seem to get him down. But Bradford are going all right here. Again, it's a good test for us today, and I think this is where we find out how good we can be.
Well, Rhys Butterworth is the second interchange for John Kay this afternoon as Vila Halafihi returns to replacing Rhys Butterworth wearing 26. So Bradford, from that scrum, they got it up to the halfway line, and it was Elliot Minchella's kick down towards Ryan Miller, and the Eagles back in possession. So a clean set of 6 there for the Bulls, and Sheffield have the ball 30 out from their own try line, once again attacking the Ruler Lane Terrace in this first half. The floodlights are just about to come on as the light just starting to dim here. Still, of course, in winter. It'll be dark come full time, but certainly there might not have been many points scored at all in this first half, but there's certainly been plenty of action. Ross Peltier's charge along the Provident stand side, a personal highlight of mine. Sheffield, though, 10 inside the Bradford half, and it's going to go down the middle. Maxime Garcia, the young Catalan Dragons Academy product, 20 years of age on now for Marcaston's side. It is the last tackle. Oscar Thomas chased by V. Halafihi. Pressure there for Brandon Pickersgill, and Brandon Pickersgill takes it. It was a fantastic take. Brandon Pickersgill certainly cannot do any wrong in 2018. Josh Ricketts is clattered by Thomas, and also Matt James in a 2-man tackle. Halafihi out of dummy half, gives it to Grant. Grant's brought down on his own 20, so Sheffield now have an opportunity to put a bit of a squeeze on these Bradford Bulls attacking players. It goes out to Gibson. Gibson on this main stand side, and he's brought down 15 shy of halfway on tackle number 4. Bradford 1 tackle in the bag. Halafihi finds Grant. Grant carries it 5 shy of halfway. Good tackle there from Sean Pick. In at the side. It is the last tackle. Smith kicks from the halfway line. It goes long and deep, looking to go between Toole, Blackmore Blackmore and Raya. In the end, it is going to be Blackmore who takes it, and Ben Blackmore, with 12 tries last season, is brought down 20 out from his own try line. In at dummy half, it's going to be Matty Fozzard now for the Eagles, and he in turn is going to give it to Oliver Davis. Davis gets those legs pumping. Jamal Goodall has just come on for the Bradford Bulls wearing number 30, so I'm interested to see how Jamal Goodall, the Jamaican international and former Keighley Cougar academy player, is going to be introduced to this one. Still 0-0 here, 10 minutes to go to half time, and that's the number 10 for the Sheffield Eagles. Matt James striving forward. He's brought down 5 metres inside the Bradford half. A tackle remaining after this set as it goes along the line to Thomas. Thomas back on the inside to Pick. Pick tries to go past Halafihi, but can't get past Peltier, and that's a 2-man tackle on the last tackle. Sheffield Eagles 30 metres out from that Bradford Bulls try line. It goes to Oscar Thomas. Thomas goes for a spiraler. It's going to come down with snow on it, but Josh Rickett takes it on his own try line, albeit under no pressure, and he's going to make a 10-metre gain. But Josh Rickett has come up with an error, says referee Craig Smith, and the young Bradford winger, who has a bit of a liking to John Scales, the former Bradford Bulls player of the early Super League years, has come up with a costly error it could be. The Bulls players, though, certainly showing a lot of exuberance, a lot of confidence. They're all patting Josh Rickett on the back, but another chance, John, for Sheffield to perhaps open the score in here, because we've got 7.5 minutes to go to half-time.
It's like watching a Premier League football game here. No one can seem to score. Interestingly enough, for me, both teams' last tackle options seem to be quite basic at the moment. That's about the third or fourth bomb that Sheffield put up, and all right, there's a knock-on, but Bradford taking those balls quite easily. There doesn't seem to be any adventure in either of the teams, but again, it's pre-season. But again, let's see if we can hold these boys out now with a few minutes left to half-time.
Oscar Thomas gets up, plays the ball. It moves along the line there to Joshua Toole. Joshua Toole's wrapped up by Peltier. Sheffield 5 metres out from that Bradford Bulls try line as it goes back down the middle with Maxime Garcia. Garcia 5 metres to the left-hand side of the Bradford Bulls line. A metre out. Burns. It goes there to Fozzard. Fozzard to Matt James. Matt James crashes over the line, but he's bounced the ball, says referee Craig Smith. Elliot Minchella has it. He wants to take a quick tap, but referee Craig Smith says it's got to be a controlled one on the 20, and this of course will be a 6-tackle set as it goes now with Gibson to Dalton. Dalton tries to use some evasive quality to get past Thomas and Pick there, but just couldn't get past him. He's brought down though, 12 shy of halfway. It goes a little bit deep in field to Peltier. Ross Peltier takes 4 Sheffield Eagles players with him. He's brought down on the halfway line. It goes from Halafihi. Short pass out of that defensive line, and Mikey Wood is going to be brought down just inside the Sheffield half. Here goes Matt Garside over on the Provident stand side. He palms it back like a Harlem Globetrotter. Josh Rickett has ball in hand. He's going to try and turn and go. Was that a high tackle? The referee says no. Sean Pick and Kieran Moran lucky to get away with that one. Here goes Jamal Goodall. It is like a demolition derby here. Both sides this throwing all the forwards into each other. Heavy collisions in centre field. Goodall gets to his feet, plays the ball 8 metres out from the line. Lee Smith goes from dummy half. He's on top of the Sheffield Eagles line on the last tackle. He's pushed back in the field of play. Bradford a metre shy of the line. It goes along the line to Garside. Garside juggles with it. A no-look pass from Ross Oakes. It's gone forward to Ricketts. The chance has gone begging, and Bradford will turn over the ball 10 metres out from the Sheffield Eagles line. The scoreboard on the Holland Bay scoreboard still 0-0, 6 minutes to go.
Still, but a bit of adventure there, from Bradford. Ross has come on and had a real impact in the game, and Jamal's now starting to get stuck into it. But for me, again, the last tackle plays, we just need a bit more composure, I think, but also add to that composure a little bit of flair.
Error count for both sides. Bradford 7, Sheffield 7, and Sheffield edging the penalty count 4-3. It's got to be said though, Bradford looking really to, as we said, John, a bit of flair. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite needed then. But Sheffield, 4 tackles gone in this set. McCarney trying to penetrate past Smith, and Grant is up to halfway on tackle number 4. Referee Craig Smith shouts move. Thomas goes in at dummy half, and it goes there to number 12 for the Eagles, Sean Pick. Pick's wrapped up on the last, on his back, turned in the tackle there by Wood and Peltier, and on the last tackle, Oscar Thomas drills it into touch, 10 metres out from the Bradford line. Brandon Picker's goal in no real rush, or no real danger to turn it around. But certainly these hometown Bradford boys making Odsal a special place to be in 2018. Certainly a really tight group, and it goes without saying, John, there might be a little bit of a slight age gap between your Lee Smith and Ashley Gibson to the rest of the players, but they're certainly enjoying it out there. They're playing for one another, and more importantly, they're playing for the shirt, they're playing for the badge, and the fans, with 5.5 minutes to go to half-time, they can have no real complaints.
Absolutely not, and I think we both agree, wouldn't we, in a game of this sort of magnitude last season, there'd have been 30 errors by now. And it all seems to be disappearing, which is great. And I think that, as you said, the cold weather's got a lot to do with it. Also, though, John, for me, brings to this team what this team needed last year, and he needs composure on the sideline. And don't panic, because if we go through the process, then the result will come. And that's what we're seeing. You know, we're playing a team from the division above today. Great performance so far.
5 minutes to go to half-time then here at the Provident Stadium, Odsal. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, Mick Gledall, John Keys and Bradford. They're 10 shy of the halfway on tackle number 4. Peltier on his own 40. He'll play the ball. Here goes Halafihi. Out it goes. Oh, it's been intercepted by Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas has Elliot Minchella chasing after him, but Oscar Thomas will just go in at the corner. He glides over the Bradford Bulls line. The pass was picked off, and Oscar Thomas will enjoy that against his former club. Muted cheers. Craig Smith points the finger. The opening score has come from the Eagles, and it was a pass that was picked off 40 metres out from the Bulls line, and very difficult to say who it was who threw the hospital pass, but Oscar Thomas, really good. Lee Smith, John, was the guilty culprit, but Oscar Thomas will enjoy that one, and almost it's come against the run of play.
Yeah, I think so. Also, I don't think the pass was on, to be honest. We just need to tip the ball on there. But look, Oscar's a little bit of a smile towards the fans, I think, there as he crossed the line. But like you said, it's gone against the run of play, really. And I think if we'd have looked at and said, you know, we'll be 4-0 down, potentially 6-0 down against a team from a division above, I don't think anyone would be complaining.
And Oscar Thomas, of course, will attempt the conversion attempt for the Sheffield Eagles. 25 metres out from the Bulls line, 3 minutes to go to half time. This to add on the extra 2. And we've got the benefit of having the replay monitor here in the commentary box, and it was indeed Lee Smith. A bit of a risky pass, looking to involve Dalton Grant on this popular stand side, but Oscar Thomas, he certainly knows the geometry of Odsal, and he converts from this popular stand touchline. So Sheffield have the extra 2 points. Oscar Thomas with the try, Thomas with the conversion. He goes out from 1 from 1. 2.5 minutes to go. Holland Bay scoreboard. Bulls 0, Eagles 6.
As we always say, it's a bad time to lose a score in any sport, isn't it, before half time? But I don't think there's anything to read into it, to be honest. As the game goes on, it'd be interesting fitness-wise how Sheffield will go, because they've not got a lot of players here, and obviously we're making 3 or 4 changes every 15 minutes, so could be interesting second half, I think.
Goes without saying, it is a pre-season fixture. Yes, you'd like to see the Bulls win, but it's all about performance. It's not about points. There's no points at stake. Sheffield then, on the restart, they're already up to their own 15-metre mark with Goodall and Halafihi in pursuit. It's a short pass from Fozzard. He gives it to James, and James is brought down. Here goes Ben Blackmore out of dummy half, scampering forward, brought down there by Liam Johnson, and Johnson's going to bring him down just shy of the halfway line. Referee says the contact was good. Out of dummy half it goes from Fozzard to James, and James offloads the ball back to Fozzard. Fozzard along that Sheffield line. Daniel Imbignian, the chance, the line was open because Dalton Grant had gone to Imbignian and he had McCarney outside him. That is a chance, another try gone begging for the Sheffield Eagles. And Bradford will have huge respite here. They'll have the scrum on their own 40, and with exactly 60 seconds remaining in this first half, the Holland Bay scoreboard, Bulls 0, Eagles 6, and they're going to have one last chance, one last throw of the dice in the first half.
Bradford were lucky there. I've known Iggy since he was about 16. If there had been a £20 note on that ball, he'd never have dropped it. But listen, we might get something from this, who knows? But yeah, lucky to get away with that.
So Bradford, one last chance. 60 seconds. Time back on. A scrum on their own 40 as it goes out to Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood driving it forward. Brought down. 5 shy of halfway. Halafihi to Minchella. Minchella, good contact there, but he's brought down in a three-man tackle led by Davis and Pick. 5 metres inside the Eagles half. Halafihi goes from dummy half and he's going to make 15 metres. Bradford on the run. Bradford on the Sheffield 30. 30 seconds remaining at the end of this first half. The Bulls trailing 6-0. Down the middle it's going to go with Ross Peltier. Peltier is brought down just around 20 metres out. 2 tackles remaining. It goes to Goodall. They move it towards the Provident stand side. It goes from Minchella. Minchella back to Garside. Garside offloads the ball and the referee's going to ping Bradford for crossing with 20 seconds remaining in this first half, and that probably will be all she wrote. Penalty count, Eagles 5, Bulls 3, and the penalty awarded for crossing just on the Eagles 20, and that's a good kick there from Matty Fozzard. He's found touch on the Eagles 40, and with literally 5 seconds remaining, we're going to have one last tackle here at Odsall. Latest scores in the other friendly games. Hull FC 26, Hull KR 28, and it's Huddersfield 22, Dewsbury 6, who of course Bradford will play next week. And the hooter has sounded here at the Provident Stadium, Odsall. Sheffield just tapped the ball. They went down that right-hand edge with Sean Pick. He was brought down in a 2-man tackle, and that is as good as it got. Half-time here then at Odsall. Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 6. John, just quickly, your thoughts on the vision on first half?
Yeah, I wouldn't be scared of anything if I was a Bradford supporter, and obviously, you know, my lad's playing here, but to me, we've given a try, haven't we, there? That's all that's happened. The errors are reducing and our defence is probably 95% better than it was last year. So for me, they're all the positive things to pick up on.
Well, welcome back here to the Provident Stadium. Odsall, half-time here, pre-season game. Number 2, John Keir certainly looking to give his squad valuable minutes ahead of the Argos of League One. Quite a few tweets coming in using the Bulls Live hashtag. Unfortunately, not going to have enough time to read them out. But just hello to the gunmen, Chris Motu, Smithy Bull, Val Turner, Barbie Glade, Jack Belt, Big Bulls fan, and also Mickey O'Neill, and of course Dan Yul Rayner. And also Spring Onion Gang. We've got numerous people, and of course Andrew Chalmers is currently listening. So yeah, Andrew Chalmers not here this afternoon, but certainly listening intently and certainly seeing how the Bradford Bulls get on. So it will be Sheffield to get proceedings back underway. Both sides are out for the second half, and Oscar Thomas drills it deep and long, and it's picked up by Elliot Minchella on his own 20, and he takes the Bradford Bulls to within 20 metres of the Sheffield Eagles halfway line as it now goes on tackle number 2 to Peltier. So good forward direct movement there from Ross Peltier, the former Keighley Cougar, former Bradford Academy man. Vihila Hilalfifi out of dummy half. Ethan Ryan is going to make his 2018 debut for the Bulls in this second half as he is out there wearing number 2, and his first use of the ball will be a pass to Jamel Goodall. Goodall's wrapped up on tackle number 3. 10 metres inside the Sheffield Eagles half. It goes from Halafihi to Smith. Smith kicks early in the count, looking to turn around Miller. Miller takes it 5 out from his own goal line and is trapped there by Liam Johnson and Lee Smith. Literally 10 out from his own try line. So John Keys, what do you reckon John Keir said at half-time? They're just trailing on the Holland Bay scoreboard by 6-0. Certainly, I think Sheffield's lack of players might be an issue as fatigue, tiredness and cramp sets in.
Yeah, I think, and also John will just do what we're doing, because it's not like we're not getting the field position. As I was said earlier in commentary, it's the last play and the last sort of tackles 5 and 6, you know, we need to make more of that. But defensively, I'm sure he'll be really happy, and I think that's what John bases anything on, is about how well you can defend. I've always had the motto when I've been coaching in the past: don't worry about what they're doing, worry about what we're doing. If we stop them scoring, we'll score eventually because of the players we've got, you know. And I think that's the case here at Bradford. We've got some good ball players, and when the time's right, it's going to happen.
2 minutes gone of the second half. Sheffield took the ball up to the halfway line. And then it was Matty Fozzard who found touch, 15 out from the South Bank side. So Bradford will have a scrum, 15 metres inside the Roan half, and it will be Elliot Minchella to feed the ball into the scrum. Don't forget, you can all chat on the MixLR Bradford Bulls app. Smudge says, Mick, it's obstruction, not crossing. Well, it's the same thing, obstruction, crossing. The Bradford Bulls used an extra man to their advantage. So from the scrum, 15 out from their own line, Dalton Grant takes tackle number 1. Here goes Alex Brown, who's come off the interchange bench wearing 20. He was given 32. He's now going to be 20 for the season ahead. And he's brought down on tackle 2, 15 shy of halfway. And it's now going to go from Halafihi to Peltier. Tackle number 3. Here goes Goodall. This will be tackle number 4 as the Jamaican international carries on from where Ross Peltier left and is up to halfway. So Bradford a tackle in the bag. 3.5 minutes gone here. Still trailing by a score to 0 as a high tackle goes on Liam Johnson, ignored by referee Craig Smith. It's the last tackle and Lee Smith pings one up in the air from the Sheffield 40. Ryan Miller's knocked it on. Elliot Minchella is going to score for the Bradford Bulls. The touch judge though has stood his ground. Referee Craig Smith will stop the clock. It's looking like this one's going to be chalked off. On comes the touch judge, the conferring. John says offside, and the referee is going to chalk off the score. Listen to the jeers from the Provident Stadium crowd. He's going to say that it was offside. Elliot Minchella was inside the 10. I'd really like to have a look at a replay of that one, John Keys, but you called it. You thought it was offside.
Yeah, Smithy just took a bit too long to get the kick away, I think, and certainly the boys outside him on the far side were offside. So I'm assuming everybody just went forward expecting the kick to be a bit quicker.
Well, Sheffield awarded their 6th penalty of the afternoon. Lee Smith put the kick up from the 20, and as we see, it was just a fraction in front on the replay. I'm just looking at the monitor. So Sheffield, good decision from the 22-year-old rookie referee from St Helens. Sheffield awarded back-to-back penalties now as they move the ball up to halfway. Is referee Craig Smith's going to ping Vila Halafihi and Mikey Wood for 2 in the tackle. And Sheffield now a chance to stamp some authority on this fixture. 20 metres out, they'll tap the ball. It's going to be Joshua Toole. Toole in turn gives it there to Garcia, and Garcia, the French Academy junior, 20 years of age, is turned in the tackle, and he'll get to his feet and he'll play the ball under the shadow of the sticks. 15 metres out, the floodlights now on as Oscar Thomas struggles with the ball, and he's wrapped up there by Liam Johnson on that left-hand edge, and Johnson brings him down to the ground. Quick play the ball. They're going to come back from east to west as they go down the middle channel, and there's a forward pass there from Greg Burns to Oliver Davis, and the error count now in double figures for the Eagles. Holling Bay scoreboard, Bulls 0, Eagles 6. It'll be a scrum to the Bulls, 10 out from their own try line. They just got a little mixed up there, the Eagles, John. Yeah, they did a bit of overrunning the ball there from Ollie Davis, but the tempo seems to have picked up from the first half, which is quite interesting because that was played at a pretty quick pace. Great for Bulls to get over the line, albeit disallowed, but it just shows, doesn't it, if you do go through the processes, these chances will come, and I think there'll be a few more scores yet in this game. Brilliant commentary. Mick says PT. He's brought down over on the far stand side, but the tackle will not be allowed to be completed because referee Craig Smith, we don't want to make it about the referee, but the penalties are coming now thick and fast. He's penalised Sheffield for being inside the 10. So the penalty count now, Bradford 4, Sheffield 8. And Bradford a full set of 6 inside the Sheffield half. And it's going to be Liam Johnson who gets to his feet, plays the ball. Mikey Wood on tackle number 2. The 2 Huddersfield Giants low knees are brought down just outside the Sheffield 30. And there's a late challenge there on Lee Smith by one of the Sheffield Eagles players. And Lee Smith's down injured. The referee stops the clock. The Bulls players, Elliot Minchella, the look to see Dalton Grant also there. Just a concerned look for the Bradford Bulls skipper. Lee Smith, of course, former Leeds, Wakefield, Lee, Wasps and Newcastle Rugby Union. he also won the Harry Sunderland Award in 2008. 8 caps for England between 2006 and 2009, and the Bradford Bulls skipper in a bit of discomfort, in a bit of pain. The referee just talking there to the back row forward for the Eagles, Sean Pick, who did appear to just come in with a shoulder a little bit late. It's not malicious, we've just seen it on the monitor, but Lee Smith obviously in a bit of discomfort.
It looks like it. Luckily in these friendlies, of course, you can have 20 players in the 25 players involved in the game, so you know, hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Another change making then, James Davis coming on, but Lee doesn't look too good, does he, at the moment? He's not moved since he took the shoulder charge, so let's hope he's not too serious.
Well, James Davis comes on for Mikey Wood, and Rowan Milnes is going to come on for Lee Smith. So he made his Bradford Bulls debut here on the Boxing Day fixture against Halifax. 18 years of age, Rowan Milnes, a former St Bede's pupil. That's the same school I went to, John. So St Bede's producing all these great people involved at the Bradford Bulls. And Lee Smith just slowly getting up, a little bit groggy, a little bit gingerly, just getting the okay from the physio. Jamel Goddall now just having a concern. Look, the clock has been stopped for around about 2 minutes now, but of player safety of huge importance. And Lee Smith gets up and, as we said, a little bit gingerly, a little bit groggy. Rowan Milnes then has ball in hand. He's not going to kick to touch. I think he's going to tap it. 25 out. So Lee Smith goes for the head concussion test. He'll go down the tunnel. Rowan Milnes, well, he had 17 minutes against Halifax on Boxing Day. John Kay told me at Tong this week that Rowan was going to get a bit of an extended game time, and well, I thought he might tap it. He's going to kick to touch, and Rowan's found touch. 10 out from the Eagles try line. The floodlights blazing, beaming down here on the Provident Stadium surface pitch, and immediately James Davis, the former Hunslet and Penrith Panther Academy graduate, is brought down 2 metres shy of the line. Quick play the ball. It goes out to Minchella. Minchella to Gibson, to Ryan, and Ethan Ryan now, who's playing centre, it would appear, is brought down 2 metres shy of the line. Halafihi, back it goes to Minchella. Minchella to Peltier. Peltier attracting 4 black-shirted Sheffield players, and the referee says it's another penalty. That's the 4th time this afternoon Ross Peltier has had the ball stolen. He's attracting that much attention, that much traction, and it's a penalty to the Bradford Bulls. 5 metres out from the Sheffield Eagles try line. They're going to tap it on the 10. Halafihi to Goodall. Goodall, the 20-year-old Jamaican international, wrapped up under the Ruley Lane terracing post. Quick play the ball. It goes back there to Rowan Milnes. Rowan Milnes tries to dummy his way to the line. He's brought down 5 metres out after a good tackle from Pick and Davis for the Eagles. Quick play the ball. Minchella has it. Minchella driving towards the Eagles line. He's held up on top, but just in the field of play. Quick play the ball. Vila Halafihi tries to go over from dummy half, but he's not going to get past the huge frame of Matt James. 5 metres to the left-hand side of the sticks. It goes to Milnes. Milnes gives it there to Johnson. Johnson now attracting rough attention from the Eagles defence. It's resolute. Last tackle. They go back to the 10. Minchella, a grubber kick. Who can get there? Sheffield palm the ball dead. They avert the danger. There was Ross Oakes and Ethan Ryan chasing, hunting that one, and it was number 15. It was Tom Megaton who come to the danger, and a goal line dropout force, John. Extended pressure from the Bulls. That'll please John Keir. But again, there's got to be question marks about the creativity. No real spark.
I think when Rowan had the ball there in front of the sticks, we just ran it back in again on the 4th tackle. We've got to do more than that. And at last, Elliott's put a great little kick in there. Look what it's produced. Just need to keep the pressure up now and see what comes from this set.
Rowan Milnes fields the ball on his own 40. Gives it there. Rampaging run from Davis. James Davis brought down just outside the Sheffield 20. Here goes Peltier. Second tilt, second carry. 4 Eagles defenders on him again. He's like a ball in a china shop. Keeps the ball alive, and Bradford are brought down 5 out from the Sheffield Eagles try line. Minchella in at dummy half. It goes to Goodall. It's one-man rugby from the Bulls, but Goodall trying to power his way over from close range. 5 metres once again to the left-hand side of the sticks. A metre out. Halafihi goes to the 10 to Rowan Milnes. Rowan Milnes takes the Eagles line on. Tries to shimmy. Dummy his way. Steps off the left. Steps off the right. He's brought down in a 2-man tackle. 2 metres out. Quick play the ball. Mitchella floats it out to Brown. Alex Brown for the Bulls. He's held up over the Sheffield line. Good scrambling cover defence there from Toole and Blackmore on this left-hand edge. The Bulls will go back to the 10. The tackle count, though, still continues. We've had 10 minutes gone of this second half. This will be the last tackle for the Bulls. They play the ball on the 10. It's going to go back to Mitchella. Mitchella Grubbers kicks for himself. Ryan Miller. Oh, he's took a lifesaver there as Ryan Miller. He literally pounced on that ball as Elliot Mitchella was coming in to kick it forward. And Ryan Miller has saved Sheffield's bacon there as Sheffield leading by 6 points to 0 are going to get a penalty for hands in at the ruck as Ryan Miller goes down with cramp in back play. Penalty awarded to the Eagles on their own 15-metre mark, and that now takes the count to 9-5 against the Bulls. And John Keys, well, it's certainly going to be a low-scoring afternoon at this rate, but once again, Bradford, pressure, possession, territory, just can't break this Sheffield defence.
No, but I think giving away a silly penalty like that then for hands in at the ruck is we just got to eliminate that sort of stuff, because we've just given away 30 metres for no reason. And again, it's still down to last play stuff, isn't it? But I didn't quite see what happened there, but I saw that Sheffield obviously came away with the ball, then we give a penalty away, and look where we are now, defending on our own 40-metre line. So I think we just need to make up a few better choices, but we're still looking all right.
Goes from Oscar Thomas to McCarney. McCarney's brought down on the Eagles' third tackle after the penalty for hands in at the ruck. Oscar Thomas keeps it going, gives it there to McCarney again, and Sheffield now on tackle number 4 are 25 metres out from the Bradford Bulls line, attacking the South Bank stand in this second half as it goes from Oscar Thomas to Garcia. Garcia wrapped up on the 5th and last. Just 10 metres to the left-hand side of centre field. 15 out. It goes on this popular stand side. Crossfield kick, a la Aussie rules from Oscar Thomas. Looking for Blackmore, but Alex Brown, wearing 20 on debut for the Bradford Bulls, takes that like a nut ball attracted to a magnet. And Bradford now can work. Oakes to Ryan. Ryan wrapped up on his own 20. Quick play the ball. Here goes Alex Brown. Helps the Bulls cause. 10 metres up to the Bradford 30. Still 20 shy of the halfway line. Halafihi to Crossley. Crossley once again, similar to Peltier, attracting a lot of attention, and this will be the 5th and last tackle for the Bradford Bulls. They've made 45 metres on this one. It goes to Rowan Milnes. It's hit a Sheffield player. It's regathered, is it, by Liam Kirk, who's just come on the field, but the referee's going to say Liam Kirk. It will be a handover because although it hit the Sheffield player's back, John, he didn't know anything about it. That's not really called playing for the ball, and Liam Kirk will have to hand the ball to Oscar Thomas, 15 shy of halfway on the Sheffield 35. Still Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 6 on the Holland Bay scoreboard.
Yeah, last tackle options again there were limited, weren't they? A rushed kick and it didn't go too well. And we seem to be conceding quite a bit of ground at the moment. However, we are still defending well. So I'm not worried about the scoreboard, but just that we keep going through our processes.
Certainly been attritional out there for both sides. Sheffield 10 metres inside the Bradford half as Greg Burns takes the ball up to the 38-metre mark. So 38 metres out, just to the right of centre field, in front of the popular stand side. Evan Hodgson's just come on the field wearing 29, and he's like a lighthouse in the fog out there. Such cleanness in his shirt. It'll be muddy and a little bit filthy come the end. Oscar Thomas tries a little inventive trick, a chip over the top. It's worked for the Eagles. They've recovered the ball, but it is the last tackle. So they're 10 metres out, and it's going to be McCarney. McCarney gives it back to Oscar Thomas across the face of the post. They go, oh, it's picked up by Ross Oakes. Can Ross Oakes go the distance? He's got the Sheffield Eagles in pursuit, and that was Tom Megaton who come back, but the danger's not over yet. Oakes will play the ball on the halfway line. It goes to Brown. It goes to Mitchella on this popular stance side. He'll get up and play the ball now. 30 metres out. Rowan Milnes takes the Eagles line on. Eagles scrambling back in defence. They're now set on their own 15. Bradford just outside the 20 as it goes down the middle with Davis. Davis wrapped up. Oakes didn't back himself. He went on the lateral. Bradford, though, 15 out mid-Chella. Hodson to Ryan. Ryan's wrapped up. And that is the last tackle for the Bradford Bulls. 10 metres out from the line. Halafii goes on the short side. Bulls looking for the power play. It's with Hodson. Hodson has not lost the count. He has lost the count. The Bulls couldn't get the kick in. Hodson just drove it in. And it will be another exchange of possession. And with 26 minutes remaining in this match, 54 played, John Keys. It's still 6-0 to the Eagles. Chance gone big in there for the Bulls, though.
Yeah, I mean, again, a big match-winning pass from Oscar Thomas that was quite easily picked out by Ross. But we haven't made the most of that opportunity. And again, we've got to the end there and we've just lost our way a little bit. But as again, no points on offer, so we can afford to do that today.
Bradford then defending on their own 30. Sheffield up to the 20. McCarney gets to his feet, plays the ball. It's Ben Blackmore striding forward, out of dummy half, making cheap metres forward. Hodson comes in with a great tackle. Also Minchella in at the side. Matt Fozzard to Matt James, and James crashes onto a short pass but brought down there by Kirk and Crossley. Here goes Matty Fozzard out of dummy half, finds the support from Burns. Sheffield looking dangerous in midfield. Burns is away. He has McCarney on his inside, didn't see him, and it's the last tackle. Good try-saving tackle from Rowan Milnes. It is the last. It's Oscar Thomas. Sheffield looking to cut the Bulls out wide. It goes to Fozzard. It's panned out to Miller, and Miller thought about crossing at the corner, but the referee says forward pass, try won't count. Bradford 0, Eagles 6. A 12th error of the afternoon for Mark Aston's side, and with just under 25 minutes remaining in this game, it is going to be Bradford playing the ball 10 metres out from the line. John Keir, how will he be thinking, John, how this one's going?
Sheffield have dominated a bit, haven't they, for the last 10 minutes, really. But again, like we said, I'll be interested to see physically how they manage to cope now with so few interchanges. But again, Bradford just need to be more clinical when they've got ball in good ball, really.
Well, Vila Halafihi leaves the field. Sam Hallis is back on. 25 minutes remaining. The Bulls only down by a score, and they're up to halfway with Hallis, who's just come on. So fresh legs for John Keir's side. Here goes Crossley down the middle. 15, nearly 20 metres made there, the former Toronto Wolfpack man. And he's managed to offload the ball in the tackle. Back it goes to Hallis. The Bulls have a chance on out wide. It goes there to Mikey Wood, and Wood is going to be brought down just to the right of the posts. 20 out. Last tackle, says Craig Smith. It goes to Milnes. Milnes, crossfield kick. Who's chasing it? Peltier's chasing it. In the end, Ryan Miller takes it there superbly under pressure from the red, amber and black shirted Bulls attackers who were trying to latch onto Rowan Milnes' crossfield kick. And once again, Sheffield have defended valiantly and majestically. Eagles still 6-0 to the good here at the Provident Stadium. Odsel, Mick Gledell, John Keys for Bulls Live and Bulls TV. Just shy of the halfway line now, as once again the light continues to dim here, and the floodlights really do light up this famous, iconic Rugby League stadium. 5 metres inside the Bradford half of the Sheffield Eagles. 22 minutes remaining. Just Oscar Thomas's try and conversion, the difference between these two sides. Burns out a dummy half, gives it down the middle to Oliver Davis, and Davis is brought down. On the last, they've extinguished all the tackles. It goes to Thomas. Thomas to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan takes it under pressure there from Joshua Toole, and he'll play the ball 10 metres in from this popular stand side, 10 out from his own try line. Second tackle of this set of 6 for the Bulls as Alex Brown is wrapped up once again by Davis and McGretton. And McGretton once again also in that tackle. Goes down the middle. Hodson carries Bradford up to their own 40. Again, it's like an intricate game of chess. Both sides just moving the pieces eloquently and not really making any headway. The 5 metres inside the Sheffield half on that last tackle. It goes from Hallis to Milnes. Milnes once again is going to test McCarney. McCarney's let it bounce. McCarney's knocked the ball on, but the referee says it's gone backwards. And that's another 50-50 decision that's gone the way of the Eagles. And McCarney will get up and he'll play the ball 10 out from his own try line as Sheffield try to go around the Bulls rather than through them, and they're going to be brought down a metre in from touch on the Provident stand side. But referee Craig Smith is going to say the Bradford markers, they're not square, they're all over the defender, and it's another penalty to the Eagles. That takes the count now. Sheffield 10 penalties, Bradford 5, John. John Keys, Mr. Keir won't be happy with all these penalties and a bit of turn in the discipline from what we saw against Halifax here on Boxing Day.
Yeah, and again, I must sound like a broken record. We just put a bomb up and no one's really chased it. You know, I mean, it looked like the ball did go backwards there off McCarney, but why don't we run it and try something a bit different? This is the time to be trying all these things. But again, Sheffield, yeah, you know, they're dominating a little bit, but we've got an error now, so let's see where Bradford can do from here.
Well, perhaps justice has been served, or karma has reared its head, because it was a short pass from Greg Burns and it was knocked on by Sean Pick on the halfway line, so it'll be another chance now for the Bradford Bulls. So you didn't miss much since John was summating how John Kay will be feeling, and with 21 minutes now remaining, getting close to the hour mark here, it is still the Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 6, in a real defensive sort of thriller. Both sides having chances on each other's lines, just not being able to convert those chances into points. Hodgson on tackle 1, Hallis to Crossley on tackle 2. Crossley plays the ball, 40 out from the Sheffield line. It goes now from Hallis to Kirk, Kirk to Milnes, and Milnes is going to give it to Ryan, and Ethan Ryan is going to be brought down 30 metres out on the third tackle. Here goes Liam Kirk. Liam Kirk is caught high. Ironic cheers from the supporters below our commentary position. Bradford's 6th penalty of the afternoon. It's in front of the post, 20 metres out. Hallis looks for options. I think he's just going to tap it. Taps it on his right foot. Gives it down the middle to James Davis. Davis makes 10 metres forward. Good solid stint from Davis. Quick play the ball from Hallis. Hallis to Milnes. The Bulls are giving the ball some zip out wide, and it's just gone to ground. And Rowan Milnes trying to unlock the Eagles' defence, but a wayward pass, and he's come up with an error for the Bulls, and that is John Keir's side's 9th error of the afternoon. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, and now we're exactly gone on the clock. Oscar Thomas with a try for the Eagles in the 36th minute, converted by himself. Half-time, 6-0 to the Eagles, and that's how it's been for pretty much the game, John. The Sheffield Eagles capitalise on a loose pass by Lee Smith, and the 6-0 to the good. Very little between the two sides, though.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Owen there. If he'd have had a man out the back, I think he'd have walked over the line, but he hit the lead runner instead. But, I mean, what a defensive battle this is, isn't it? It really is all about who's banging who at the moment. And I still think Bradford could get something out of this game. I mean, I'm not disappointed at the score, but, again, we just need to be a bit sharper in execution in good ball. For me, that's what we're lacking.
Jack Belt says, lucky escape on the chat. Bradford, though, still fighting here. Remember, League One against the Championship. And certainly Dane Chisholm, Joe Keys, George Milton, all currently out injured for John Keir's side. Sheffield, though, give the ball to Matt James. Matt James doing what a prop forward should, doing the hard yards forward. He's brought down in a tackle by Davis and Kirk on the last tackle, just shy of the halfway line. It goes to Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas will go for a high hanging kick. It's going to come down diagonally. Dalton Grant takes it under the floodlights, and Dalton Grant will turn defence into attack, and Dalton Grant's going to be brought down 12 metres shy of halfway for the Bradford Bulls. 19 minutes remaining here at the Provident Stadium, Odsal, as Bradford in a bit of a titanic tussle with the Sheffield Eagles. Alex Brown out of dummy half, sucks in that Eagles defence on the halfway line. Can't get past Garcia and Broadbent as Mark Aston makes another change. Here goes Crossley. Crossley on tackle number 4 for the Bulls. 10 inside the Eagles half. It goes down the middle with Kirk. Kirk takes it up to the 30. 5th and last tackle for the Bradford Bulls. Hallis in that dummy half roll, and it's a loose pass. Ethan Ryan has to race back to pick it up, and Ethan Ryan is going to be tackled 5 shy of halfway, and the Bulls, that was very haphazard, no communication there, John Keys.
No, a poor into the set, and again, bad choices. You know, we're not looking at what's happening there. I mean, the ball didn't go to anybody. But again, it's a shame because we've defended really well today, so I think we deserve to get something out of the game.
Sheffield, a full set of 6 then, 55 metres away from the Bradford Bulls line, and it will be Matt James who gets up and he'll play the ball. John Keir's 8th change of the afternoon. Liam Kirk leaves the field. Rhys Butterworth with that maroon coloured scrum cap is on, and he's going to immediately bring down Oliver Davis, helped and aided by Sam Hallas, 5 metres inside the Bradford half. Here goes McGretton. McGretton brought down, 40 out from the Bradford line, once again by Hallison and Butterworth, doing a double team. Thomas in the pocket. Bradford 40, gives it to Miller. Miller makes a small gain of 5 metres. He's now brought down, 35 out on tackle number 4. They're going to go down the middle once again with John Magrin, and Magrin is wrapped up, the former Bradford and London man. It is the last tackle, the 20 metres out. It's going to be a kick from McGretton. McGretton into the in-goal area. It's taken by Ethan Ryan. Now, can Ethan Ryan get a quick tap underway? He's tapped it in the correct spot. Here goes Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan's away. He's up to the 40. Tackled on the 45. Quick play the ball. Butterworth in at dummy half. Gives it to Hodgson. Hodgson's inside the Sheffield half. The crowd are getting excited. 2 tackles gone. The Bulls have gone 35 metres. Butterworth now to Davis. Davis driving with a lot of dexterity, and he's brought down, 30 out from the Eagles line. Butterworth now in dummy half, gives it along the line to Minchella. Minchella to Milnes. Milnes, can he show and go? No, he can. He's wrapped up there by Imbigdian, and that is Bradford's 3rd tackle gone, and it will be 25 out from the Sheffield Eagles try line as it goes now down the middle with Steve Crossley. Tackle number 4. Butterworth in at dummy half. Marshalling the Bulls troops, shows and goes on the diagonal, and he's brought down on the last tackle, exactly 10 metres out from that Sheffield Eagles try line. Minchella in at dummy half, gives it to Milnes. Milnes, Grubber kicks through, he's put a little bit too much on it. The chasers were chasing it, but it's just gone dead, and it'll be a tap on the 20 and a 7 tackle set for the Eagles. We've got exactly remaining 15 minutes. Holland Bay scoreboard, Bulls 0, Eagles 6, John.
Yeah, that kick could have done with being a bit flatter. Great run from Ethan A to start the set off, and then we continued the roll up the field. But again, not quite right in the last play. But again, if you go 80 metres in your first 4 tackles, I don't think you're going to be complaining, are you, when the season comes?
Liam Johnson, wearing 18, was chasing that one. So, Sheffield back in possession with the ball, and they're literally just going to try and do the hard yards forward, down the middle. Nothing fancy as McCarney is brought down in a 2-man tackle. Hodgson in there, so too Butterworth. They're up to halfway, the Eagles. Thomas in at dummy half to Miller. Miller gives it to Imbigdian. Imbigdian's going to be wrapped up by the 2 prop forwards for the Bulls, Davis and Crossley. And they're now 5 metres inside the Bradford half. Out of dummy half from Blackmore. Blackmore makes it up to the Bradford 30. John Keys is saying there's a drop goal coming. There's a tackle remaining in this set. The Eagles lead 6 points to 0. They met 3 times last season. The Eagles winning 2-1 as Sheffield now on that 4th tackle, because it was a 7 tackle set. They're 15 metres out. Burns in at dummy half to Thomas. Oscar Thomas goes down the middle. Last grasp tackle there. Ethan Ryan brings him down. They're literally 5 metres out from the Bulls line. They're not going for the 1. They go to Miller. Miller on the inside. Imbigdian, can he reach out and score? He's held up on the last. Good scrambling defence from the Bradford Bulls. 13 minutes to go. It's Bulls 0, Eagles 6 on the Holland Bay scoreboard. They'll play the ball on the 10. And Ross Peltier is about to come back on, John.
Amazing defended again. I really thought Oscar would line up for a drop goal there to put them 2 scores in front. But yeah, again, John's not going to be unhappy with that, is he? A 7 tackle set, and we've ended up holding him up on, holding him up over the line. We can still get something out of this, definitely.
John Keys confident the Bulls can get something from this. Well, as we said, 12 and a half to go. Peltier on tackle 2 takes Bradford up to their own 30. Here goes Hodgson. Hodgson mixing up with Fozzard and James in a 2-man tackle. Turned on his back. Evan Hodgson wearing 29. Gets to his feet. Plays the ball. It goes from Butterworth to Hallas. Hallas is going to be brought down 5 shy of the halfway line. Just 1 try in nearly 70 minutes of rugby league football. Garside's back on for the closing embers of this one, and he takes Bradford up to the halfway line. line on the last tackle. Butterworth out of dummy half, straight down to Ben Blackmore, and Ben Blackmore's come up with an error. Come off the hour, come off the man. Reece Butterworth has just come up with what potentially could be a try to the Bulls. Ben Blackmore do note about that. It was a reverse kick out of dummy half from young Reece Butterworth, and that's got the crowd ignited. Scrum to the Bulls, 25 out from the Eagles line. Is this the moment the Bulls get the equalising score?
Well, we've just put a kick in that no one was expecting, and we've got something from it, which I think is a real positive outcome. So let's see what we do with this now. It'll be interesting. But great thinking from Reece. I don't think Ben Blackmore had any idea what day it was when that arrived, to be honest.
Referee Craig Smith will form the scrum. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, Mick Liddell, John Keys calling the action here from the Provident Stadium. Also, don't forget, every Bradford Bulls game, home and away in 2018. Join it with us. Butterworth feeds the scrum, takes it out. It goes to Johnson, and Johnson, was he lifted above the horizontal? Referee Smith says no. Quick play the ball. Butterworth, it goes to Peltier. Peltier driving forward there. Ross Peltier, he'd certainly like to get on the score sheet the afternoon. Butterworth to Mitchella, to Ryan. It goes out to Alex Brown. Alex Brown for the corner. We were going to call him Twinkle Toes. He's brought down 2 metres shy of the line. Gets to his feet. Oaks in at dummy half. It goes to Hodgson. Hodgson across the face of the post. Young Evan Hodgson brought down 5 metres out from that Sheffield try line. It goes from Butterworth to Crossley. Steve Crossley, like a bowling ball, down the bowling alley, knocks the Eagles players away like Skittles, and it is the equalising score. Bradford have the first points of the afternoon. Exactly 70 minutes gone on the clock, John Keys. You called it. It was all down to Reece Butterworth, who got Bradford in that position. And on the Holland Bay scoreboard, Bradford Bulls 4, Sheffield Eagles 6. It's a try directly under the red, amber and black dot, and Steve Crossley on his third coming to the Bradford Bulls. He's got the Bulls back in this one, and Rowan Milnes has a conversion from in front.
Yeah, just what we needed, eh? And yeah, it has all come off the back of Reece's kick. Be interesting now for me to see what happens next, because I'd go for it now, and I think that's what maybe the message that John will send out. There's 10 minutes left. We might as well go for it, mightn't we? It's going to be 6-all in the next couple of seconds. What have we got to lose?
Rowan Milnes made his debut, aged 18, against Halifax. He converted Elliot Minchella's try. He's now going to convert Steve Crossley's try in this one, and the Holland Bay scoreboard says Bradford Bulls 6, Sheffield Eagles 6. A try for Thomas, converted by Thomas. A try for Crossley, converted by Milnes. And Rowan Milnes is certainly enjoying himself this afternoon. But take about Reece Butterworth. Sometimes, John, you need to do something unorthodox, something unexpected. And Reece Butterworth, he's come up with a pivotal moment in this match.
I think you just do, though, don't you? You need people like that in the time. And you had one of the greatest here at it, Jared Samet, when he was here. He did the unexpected all the time, or most of the time, and it came off for him. And it's good for me that you get that mix in players as well, because we don't want 13 robots, do we? We want some lads to do things a bit different and change the game, and that's what's just happened.
Sheffield with the restart. Oscar Thomas's boot straight down the throat of Ross Peltier, and Ross Peltier takes tackle number 1. Here goes Reece Butterworth out of dummy half. He's scampering forward, he's broken clear. Magrin just comes in with a last grasp tackle, 10 shy of the halfway line. It goes to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan cops one on the shoulder, and then it ends up in the chin. Bradford up and over the halfway line. Steve Crossley now 40 out from the Eagles line as Magrin, Burns and James bring the big Bradford-born prop down. Former Clayton amateur. It goes to Hallis. Hallis is brought down on the 30. Last tackle. What will Butterworth do at dummy half? He gives it... Well, he's going to kick himself once again. Can lightning strike twice? Ryan Miller! Ryan Miller's come up with the error, and Reece Butterworth, the play on! Dalton Grant! He's going to win it for the Bulls! It was like a pinball in a pinball machine! The try's given! Dalton Grant! Well, that's difficult to describe, John Keys, but Reece Butterworth will get the assist. He went high from 40 metres out. It come down with snow on it. Ryan Miller knocks the ball on. 5 out from his own try line. The ball was live in play. No one had picked it up. and it was Dalton Grant who's gone over again in the corner. Sponsored by 39 Steps Consultancy. Dalton Grant, he's got it in for the Bulls. They now lead 10-6.
Great from Reese in defence of the fullback there. He's probably exhausted, to be honest. It's been one of those games, but fantastic. I did say 10 minutes ago we're still going to get something out of this, and it looks like it's going to come true. But, you know, nothing more deserved than for Dalton Grant. Second try in 2 games, but for me, been one of the better players on the pitch today. Giving it his all. Come back from some serious injuries, that lad, and to have the mental attitude he's got is amazing. And of course, John knows him anyway, so, you know, hopefully onward and upward for him for the season. But great, now we're 10-6 in front.
Pressure kick from Rowan Milnes, 20 metres out, 5 in from the Provident stand side, strikes it with the left boot. That will go between the sticks and over the red, amber and black dot. And on the Holland Bay scoreboard, the Bradford Bulls now lead 12 points to 6. 6.5 minutes to go here at Odsal, and Odsal is rocking with delight. The Bulls trailing 6-0 at half time. They've scored 2 tries in 3 minutes from Steve Crossley and Dalton Grant, his second successive score in the pre-season games under John Keir. And Sheffield now, the clock against them, and also the scoreboard, John Keys.
It is, and I think they're a bit tired, if I'm honest. Like we said, not many interchanges. One of them was a half-back. But, you know, how long's left? 5 minutes. Still 5 minutes to go. Anything can happen in that, so we'll just see. Luckily now, look, we've got a knock-on from the kick-off, so we get the ball back again.
Oscar Thomas went for a short, shallow restart. He went 10 metres on the Bradford 40. And it was Oscar Thomas and Ryan Miller who were chasing the kick. They put Ethan Ryan and Ross Oakes under pressure, but the Sheffield man just got there and knocked the ball on. A 15th error of the afternoon for Mark Aston's side, and they must be wondering how and why have they let a slender, albeit slender, 6-0 lead into a 12-6 deficit. Butterworth in the mix from the scrum. 2 Butterworth kicks. Certainly will be looking to get the thoughts of Reese Butterworth after the game. Butterworth out of dummy half. Flat looking pass picked up by the officials. It was to Peltier, and I can't argue against that one, John. That certainly went a couple of metres forward, and it will be a scrum, head and feet to the Sheffield Eagles on the Bradford 40 with 5 minutes remaining. The pressure on here. Don't take your ears away from this one. It's certainly going to be an interesting finale.
Yeah, and for me, that's what we need to eliminate. I know we said it last year, but we should have just got to the end of a set there, shouldn't we? We're not in any hurry and we're winning by a score. Hopefully now we'll see some better defending and hold out again.
Got a tweet in saying Mick's getting really animated and excited. Calm down, Mick, it says. It's only the pre-season. Who cares? It's the Bradford Bulls and Sheffield here at Odsal. Magrin. Tackle number 2 is brought down 20 metres out from that Bradford line to the right-hand side of the uprights. Sheffield now chasing the game. Can they get an equalising try? Burns in at dummy half. He's going to give it to Davis. Davis along the line to Thomas. Thomas to Miller. Miller to McCarney. And McCarney's wrapped up, swarmed upon by his former teammates. And he's made no metres forward as Sheffield move the ball lateral there. Quick play the ball. Burns. Back it goes to Thomas. Thomas in front of the sticks. Finds Fozzard. Fozzard links there with James, and James on the diagonal is wrapped up by Minchella, Evans, Hodgson and Crossley. Play on is the call from the officials, but the ball's been knocked on, and Sheffield might be a little aggrieved there, John, because the touch judge on the popular stand side said that it was play on, but the referee put whistle to lips, and Matty Fozzard, who had ball in hand, was over the Bradford line. That try won't count. And it will be a scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. 4 minutes remain. Bradford Bulls 12, Sheffield Eagles 6.
Very strange that, wasn't it, that the touch judge waved it on and then the referee calls it back when he couldn't really see in my book. But I'm not going to complain. Now we just need to get to the end of this set, don't we?
The attendance has just been given 1,428. So just shy of 1,500 souls in the Provident Stadium this afternoon, and it's pretty much dark now, and hopefully the Bulls, for John Keir, they can make it 2 from 2 against championship opposition. Butterworth, sharp pass, out of dummy half, gives it to Peltier. Peltier still going. Well, we called him Linford Christie in the first half. He is more like the fridge of the NFL, and it's a 5th penalty. That Ross Peltier has won because somebody has stolen the ball in the tackle. And now both sides come together. It's a little bit of argy-bargy, a little bit of handbags, nothing serious of any note. The referee is going to stop the clock with 3 minutes remaining. It'll be a penalty to the Bradford Bulls on their own 40. There's been no malice at all, John. It's just like naughty when the teacher leaves the classroom and the schoolboys come out and misbehave.
I think Sheffield had just asked Ross how to win a penalty there. He's won that many this afternoon. But they're coming together. There's nothing in it. There's a pushing and shoving, and it's part of the game, really. But we've got a penalty now. I don't know how long's left, maybe 3.5 minutes. But we've just got to see this out. Not that they've lost their edge, Sheffield, but the Bradford discipline today has been very good. I think much, much better than it has been in the past. And like I said, let's get to the end of this set now.
Penalty count, Bulls 7, Eagles 10. Rowan Milnes will find touch. 35 metres out from the Sheffield Eagles try line. Perhaps Bradford will look to close the game with a drop goal. They're going to tap the ball on the 35. Brought down just outside the Sheffield 20. Butterworth in at dummy half is going to go down the middle with Liam Johnson. Johnson, low knee from the Huddersfield Giants. Brought down in a 3-man tackle, 15 out, just to the right-hand side of the sticks. Butterworth to Crossley. Crossley sucks in the defence, finds Minchella. Minchella along the line to Ryan. Ryan tries to chime in, and he's brought down 10 metres out, 5 in from the popular stand side. Butterworth once again in at dummy half. It goes in centre field to Minchella. Minchella looking to find Milnes. And he's going to be brought down on tackle number 4, 10 metres out. It's almost like the Bulls are preparing for the drop goal. Butterworth in at dummy half to Crossley. Crossley, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Brought down 5 metres out on the last tackle. The crowd are calling for the 1. It goes back to Minchella. Grubber kick through. It's been picked off there by Blackmore. And Sheffield have the ball back. And it's 12 points to 6. But there's literally just 2 minutes remaining. And Blackmore's going to have to take the tackle. 10 out from his own try line. They've got to go 90 metres if they want to score from their position. And the Bulls line. But they're going to make a go of it as it goes back to Blackmore via an offload from Toole, and Blackmore, second carry in this set, takes Sheffield up to their own 30. Here goes Magrin. Magrin, big strong boy, wrapped up, 10 shy of halfway. Sheffield, two tackles remaining in this set of 6. 10 shy of halfway inside their own half, up to halfway now. Referee will say that will be the last. Burns in at dummy half. Short pass to Magrin. Goes to Thomas. Thomas, he's put a bit of a wobbler up. It's a tester for Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan takes it there under no real pressure on his own 20. And we have 90 seconds remaining here at the Provident Stadium, Odsal. Sheffield perhaps will have 2 or 3 tackles maybe if they're lucky to try and get back in this game. Bradford have possession though, and they're going to slow the game down. It's Alex Brown, gets to his feet, plays the ball. It goes to Liam Johnson. Liam Johnson carries it in, brought down there by Davis and James in a 2-man tackle. It goes from Butterworth to Hodgson. Oh, big collision there between Evan Hodgson and Greg Burns. Matt James comes in and brings Evan Hodgson up, but Evan Hodgson fearless in his approach. From dummy half, from Butterworth to Davis. Davis is wrapped up 8 metres inside the Sheffield Eagles half on the 5th and last tackle. We've got 50 seconds remaining, so Sheffield will have a set of 6 to try and get this, to try and wrestle this game back, try and get a draw, as Rowan Milnes' kick ricochets off a Sheffield man, and it's picked up there by Sean Pick. So Sheffield have the ball, a full set of 6 on the halfway line. What can Greg Burns do? What can he orchestrate out of dummy half? He's going to go down that left-hand edge to Magrin, and Magrin charges forward. The pitch, surprisingly, has held up quite well. Quick play the ball to Thomas. Thomas throws the dummy, gives it there to Fozzard, and Matty Fozzard is wrapped up in a 2-man tackle by Hallis and Davis. 2 tackles remaining for the Eagles. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. It's now or never. Last tackle, says referee Craig Smith. The game has come down to this play. Thomas, 20 metres out. Kick on the infield. They've knocked the ball on of the Bulls. It's back to 1. It goes out to Blackmore on this main stand side. Can he squeeze in at the corner? He moves in laterally. And Bradford, with 20 seconds remaining, they've got to defend a full full set of 6, 5 metres out from the Bradford line, and the Bulls have given away a penalty. There's 7 seconds remaining. It's the last play of the game, trailing by 12 points to 6. It's Hail Mary stuff. It's Oscar Thomas, crossfield kick, a la Aussie rules. Dalton Grant knocks the ball on. It's gone backwards and it's gone into touch. Ash Gibson takes the ball over the main stand touchline. The referee puts whistle to lips. The hooter sounds. And John Keir has his second Bradford win in charge of the Bradford Bulls. They make it 2 wins from 2 against championship opposition. It has finished here at the Provident Stadium on Hull. Bradford Bulls 12, Sheffield Eagles 6. Tries from Crossley and Grant. Thomas for the Eagles. Wow. Breathless. John Keys, 80 minutes in 80 seconds, please.
Okay, I thought they were offside there, Sheffield, from Oscar's reverse kick. Man of the match for me probably today, Dalton Grant, I think. I think Reece Butterworth came close to it, but Dalton for me was the best performer across the whole afternoon. I did say it, Sion, I don't want to say I did say it, but you know what? You could see it coming, couldn't you? And their lack of bodies today really killed them. Good pre-season friendly though for us, a real tough hit out needed. Just for me as well, that we just seem to be in a much better space mentally from what John's doing. And for me, that's where you win this game. We've got loads of talented players, but you've got to know how to use your head properly. And I think, yeah, but really good turnout as well, 1,500 people. It's a cold afternoon. Enjoyed it, and if people think you're animated making the commentary, they want to be in this box with you, don't they? And I'll tell them what it's really like.
Jumping around like a loon. John, just quickly for the sponsor's point of view before we leave our Bulls TV viewers, the vision on man of the match.
Yeah, vision on man of the match today is Dalton Grant, and after what he's been through in the last 2 years, to come back and put in 2 performances like he has, for me, just a great space for him to be in. So man of the match today is Dalton Grant.
Well, we're just going to leave our viewers watching on Bulls TV. Thank you very much for them who've been watching. We're still live on